back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a chit chat get ready with me, showing you guys how I get this natural everyday look. Yeah, let's go ahead and get straight on into today's video. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me. So I asked you guys a couple days ago on Instagram to send me some topics to talk about, so that's what we're about to go ahead and get into. If you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to go ahead and do so. Lots of times I like to interact with you guys and ask you questions, polls, and stuff like that. So if you want to interact with me more, be sure to follow me on Instagram. But yeah, so you guys sent some really good topics, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. It's a variety of things, from career to why men pay, why women think men should pay, a bunch of different things, y'all. I briefly looked through the topics, but we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight on in. So if you're interested to chill with me for a little bit and chat about a couple things, be sure to continue to watch. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Go ahead and grab yourself a nice drink. So for my drink of choice today, I've been doing, you know, a little alcohol cleanse. It's been like 3 to 4 weeks since I've had, you know, a nice little drink. But so I'm not going to be drinking, you know, any wine or anything like that. So instead, I'm gonna have a nice little tea. So I made some Thai tea. I've been obsessed with Thai tea recently. I make it iced, and I pour a little bit of oat milk in here, some ice cubes, and you know I gotta drink it out of a wine glass. It just kind of adds to the vibe. It just adds to the vibe. The girls that get it, okay? Control. So I went ahead and I did my skincare and stuff off camera. But now we're gonna go ahead and get right on into priming. So the primer that I've been using is the MAC Studio Fix 12-hour shine control. I've been using this. I really like it. So I'm gonna just squeeze out a little bit, put that on the back of my hand, and we're just gonna prime my face. My skin gets pretty oily, so I really like this primer. It does a really good job at like priming my face and I wouldn't say mattifying, but like controlling the oil, you know, because it still gets, you know, a little dewy, but nothing too crazy. So I really like this primer. So I'm just rubbing that into my skin. It's really hard. I'm gonna be looking at the screen a lot because I don't got a mirror or anything out here. So yeah. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go straight into my eyebrows. So I was using the Anastasia Brow Fix pencil, but I did find a dupe, a cheaper dupe for you guys. And I think I like this better because, I'm sorry, am I really gonna spend $30 for an eyebrow pencil for like a centimeter of product? I don't know about that. When I could find something for cheaper. So this is the dupe that I have for you guys. And like I said, I think I like this better. Like I can't tell the difference when I use this and my Anastasia pencil. So it's this right here. It's the NYX brow pencil. This is a dupe for the Brow Wiz. I do like the Brow Wiz, but it's just like a little pricey. And then like I was looking at the amount of product you get, I'm like, come on now. So this works just fine. Like it works perfect. Finished my makeup on time so I could step out. Dior. All I'm doing, I'm getting ready to just step out. Today is actually Saturday. It's a nice, beautiful day. So I'm just about to step out for a little bit. So that's what I'm getting. Oh, not my skin peeling. Not my skin peeling. Okay, no problem. Let me just add a little bit more primer. Oh, y'all, the sun here in Houston is different. What the heck? Not my skin peeling. we're gonna get that under control, but let me go ahead and do my brows. That is so weird. I just did a whole skincare like routine. So that is weird. But all I'm doing is my brows. This girly asked, how do I become a teacher if my degree is not in teaching? This is such a good question. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into that one. So for those of you who do not know, my day job is a teacher. I teach special needs children. The grade I teach is about like 1st to 2nd grade. It varies. I teach at a private school, so there's really no grades. It's just all about meeting the needs to each student. So a lot of it is like individualized, so it's not really like a grade, but I follow kind of like 1st and 2nd grade TEKs. But so yeah, that's what I do as my day job. I've been teaching for about 1.5 years since I moved to Houston, and my degree was not in teaching. My degree, my bachelor's is in psychology. So what you do if you did not get a degree in teaching, there's a lot of different options, but I'm just gonna explain the one that I did because that's what I'm most familiar with. It's called an alternative certificate program. So pretty much what that is it's for people who have a bachelor's in whatever, but want to switch careers and begin to teach. So it gives you all of like the basics that you need for teaching. So the program that I am enrolled in is called Texas Teachers of Tomorrow. I enrolled in it March of 2020, and I started doing my courses back home in North Carolina. And I was able to, it's all self-guided, so you can finish as fast as you want, as long as you want. Like, you kind of take your time, but I knew I wanted to move to Texas, so I was determined to be done so that I could start teaching at the beginning of that school year. So I started my courses in March, and I was able to finish by like July, so that I could apply for a job. Now when I did it, it was different. Because of COVID, all I had to do was take the courses, and then they gave me a letter stating that I was eligible to be hired, just because all of the testing centers were closed at that time because of COVID. So I wasn't able to take my content exams or anything like that. All of the observations were online because I couldn't go into a classroom because of COVID. So I had to do like online observations of classrooms. But yeah, so it was just like they give you like a list of courses that you had to do, which was a lot. Those things took me so long to get through, but because of COVID and everyone was inside, I was able to finish everything just because there was nothing else for me to do besides do these courses. And at the time I was working from home, so I had like my work computer up doing work, getting cussed out by customers, and then my personal computer pulled up over here trying to become a teacher. So it was a crazy, but you could do it. So yeah, I did Texas Teachers of Tomorrow. So you do all of those courses, you do observations. And so now it's changed though. You have to take your content exams before you can be hired as a teacher. So you take your content exams depending on what grade level you're trying to teach. Mine is EC through 6th grade. So you take those exams, and then you're able to teach on something called an intern certificate. So once you're finished with your courses, your observations, your content exams, you have the intern certificate. And then from that, which is the step I'm at right now, is becoming, getting your standard teaching certificate. So to do that, once you're done with the content exams, your courses, your observations, all of that. Oh, side note, now the observations are not online, so you would have to go into a school system. You would have to get in contact with the school, go into the school and like set up observation times to do it in person, because you know, COVID's not really a thing now, like as big as a concern as it was back in 2020 when I was doing it. So now you have to do it in person. But yeah, so you do that. Once you have your intern certificate, you can start teaching. They give you a letter saying that you're eligible to be employed. So you teach on that intern certificate, and then to get your standard certificate, you have to get recommendations from like your supervisor or your principal. You tell the program like, hey, I got a job. So they start taking like $400 from your check to pay for the program fee, which is like $4,000. So you do that for a year, and then they'll send in someone from like the program. So for example, mine is Texas Teachers. They would send in someone from Texas Teachers to observe you teach in your classroom. And then you do like a project. Texas Teachers has like a project that you have to complete. And then you take your PPR exam, and then you get your standard certificate. So it's kind of a lot, but it is possible. So if I were you, I would look into different alternative like ACP programs. Like I said, the one that I did was Texas Teachers. Do I recommend it? I mean, I did the job, but it was very hard to get in contact with them when I was working on like my courses and stuff, just because of COVID. Like it was just really hard to get somebody on the phone to answer my questions, so they weren't really helpful when it came to that. But it was very straightforward, so in that sense I would recommend it, just because it was kind of easy to navigate and like get through. So yeah, that is how you become a teacher in the state of Texas. I'm not sure, it may be different in different states, but that's what I had to do for Texas. So the next topic I have is, do you see yourself in Houston for another few years? Absolutely yes. I've been getting that question asked a lot actually from different people in my life, like asking me if I want to stay here and where I see myself, if I see myself moving. But to be honest, you guys, as of now, no, I don't see myself moving. As of now, I see myself staying in Houston for a good amount of time, honestly. I love everything about Houston. You know, it's hot. It's very hot. I used to think I saw myself in like LA, but absolutely not. I love Texas. I definitely see myself here for the next few years. Now that could change. You know, I could randomly be like, oh no, like I want to move somewhere else. You know, things happen in life. But as of now, Houston is treating me very well. I feel like I've learned a lot. I've done a lot. I've grown a lot. And I've achieved some like really cool things out here. So I don't know. I could see myself staying here for a little bit, honestly. So as of now, yes. Topic. Some things to do on your own in Houston, ways to make connections and friends here. So, things to do by yourself. I like taking myself out to lunch by myself. So when I first moved here, I would find like cool restaurants that I wanted to try, and I would literally just go try it by myself. During like lunchtime, I feel like is less intimidating to like go eat by yourself. I mean, shoot, you could do dinner too. But I would do like during lunch on the weekends, find somewhere cool, like a nice restaurant. I did that a lot when I moved out here. I would look up like different coffee places, you know, things that you enjoy to do. So I would do that. And it's not saying when you do that you like meet people, but it kind of gives you like a better chance of meeting somebody, and just kind of gets you like out the house and like, you know, vibing, and I don't know. So that's what I was doing a lot when I first moved out here. I really, back in the day, was into thrifting. I've kind of fallen off of thrifting, but I would like look up different thrift markets, vintage markets and stuff like that in Houston, and I would go to those by myself on the weekends. I would go to the park by myself, the Buffalo Bayou Park. I would go there by myself every weekend and do a nice little workout, nice walk. So, you know, doing that, it's not to say that you're gonna meet people right off the bat, but it brings you like some confidence of getting used to doing things by yourself, and it puts you in a position to where you can meet somebody. You know, instead of staying inside thinking, oh, I want to meet people, I want to meet people. You're not going to meet people if you stay inside of your apartment. So doing stuff like that kind of helped me get used to being out, putting myself out there. You could go out by yourself, like go sit at a bar or something by yourself. I've never done that. I actually really want to, but not gonna lie, I was a little scared because you also got to be careful. There are some creeps here in Houston, and as a single woman, like in a new city where you don't know anybody, sitting by yourself at a bar is probably not the best idea. At least for me, that's my mindset, how I was thinking. So I never did it. But I know some people that did, and that worked for them. So yeah, also, there are lots of groups you can find on Instagram, to where you can connect with other women and people that are into the same things as you. So for example, I am really into like entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So I had found this workshop for female entrepreneurs here in Houston, and I went to one of them over a weekend, and I ended up meeting some cool people out of that. It was a really fun way to like get excited and, you know, learn and hear about different things, and just surrounding yourself with like like-minded people. So use Instagram as a resource to find different groups like that. You guys, every time I film, I feel like I do my eyebrows way darker when I film versus in real life. I don't know why I feel like I'm more heavy-handed. I think it's because I'm trying to get it to show up on camera, but I'm forgetting like this is real life and I need to blend this. The foundation that I use is this one by NARS. This is the Natural Radiant Long Wear Foundation. I am in the shade Cadiz. So that's what I'm going to use on my face. And then for my highlight, I use NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Y'all, I go through these so quickly. It's a shame. I already need to go get another one. I feel like I have to get one of these like once a month. So I'm obsessed with this concealer. It's my favorite, and I use the shade Biscuit. All right, so go ahead and apply the concealer where I want it. I've been doing this, and it kind of helps my makeup not look as like cakey. Instead of like applying my foundation first and then putting the concealer on, I like doing it this way because I'm able to, I don't know, to me it just looks better when I apply my concealer first. The next question I got was, or the next topic I got was, who do you think should be paid more? Doctors, farmers, or teachers? Now, that's a pretty good question. I'm just gonna start by saying everybody needs to get paid more. With the way prices are going up, they need to increase wages, salaries, because this is ridiculous. This is straight up ridiculous, okay? I'm gonna start by saying that. Now, all of these jobs are very important, you know, they're very vital. We need doctors to, you know, create medicine, save lives. We need farmers to bring us produce. We need teachers to educate the youth, you know? I'm not just saying this because I'm a teacher, but teachers need to get paid more. Teachers need to get paid more. We are with these kids literally all day. We are educating them. We're, you know, especially early childhood education, like we're giving them the very basics. Like it is vital, the things that children learn early on. And I feel like teachers just need to be paid more. It is unacceptable. It is literally unacceptable. So I'm gonna say teachers need to get paid more. So the next topic I got was, what are some of your personal goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So personal goals, I want to just develop like a healthier lifestyle. You know, working out more, going in the gym more, eating better. I want to, you know, develop more spiritually, financially, just all around. I want to just continue to grow. I want to create more balance, which is something I'm trying to like work on now. Balance between, you know, going out and having a good time and just like also taking time to myself and like being okay with being by myself, my alone time, and like valuing my alone time more, being more productive in my alone time, just creating more of a balance in my life. I want to date like more intentionally. You know, I'm tired of dating. I'm ready for a husband. And in order to do that, I need to be more intentional with the people I let into my space and in my life. I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. I want to be able to do social media, YouTube, stuff like that full-time. I love making content. I love it. It makes me so happy. I love interacting with you guys. I love collaborating with brands, and like I just love everything about it. So that's my goal, is to be able to do that full time one day, be able to quit my full-time job and pursue social media full time. It's always been my passion. I would love to have my online boutique thrive and being able to work on that more. So yeah, I also want to get into real estate. A couple people I know are into the Airbnb thing, and like I'm like really interested in that. So I would love to be able to do that. Yeah, those are some of the goals and aspirations that I have, and where I see myself in about, hopefully sooner than 5 years. Y'all, I don't know why I'm getting annoyed. This happens every time I film a get ready with me. Like something is just not going right. So I really hope this turns out good, because if not, y'all, I'm gonna have to refilm this. Like my skin is just flaking, and like, I don't know, I feel like I can't see nothing. I don't know. Anyways, next topic. Let's see, some shopping must-haves, like perfumes and stuff. Okay, I love the shop. I have not shopped and splurged. Actually, I take that back. I shopped a little for my birthday. But I love shopping. My shopping must-haves would be, I love bags so much. In my dream world, I'm gonna have a closet filled with bags. I'm obsessed with bags, especially vintage luxury bags. Oh, I love vintage luxury. Like I'm obsessed with vintage luxury. Like I love, like, especially like the early 2000s. I love it. So I would have a closet filled with bags. So that's my shopping must-have, is bags, because once you have a good bag, you can throw on anything. I'm talking about anything. And like your outfit is already elevated. Like your outfit already is like just like pulled together. I could wear my like a plain t-shirt, some sweatpants, and my Balenciaga bag, and I already look like pulled together, put together. You know what I mean? And like, especially when you find a good bag that goes with like everything, I love it. A bag sets the outfit off. A bag and shoes. Shoes are very important too, and that's one thing I'm trying to get more into, is stepping up my shoe collection. But yeah, bag and shoes. Those are like the main thing in my opinion. As far as, because once you got the bag and shoes, you're set. You are set. You can throw on anything. make anything work. That's how I like to go about like my outfits and stuff. It's like bag and shoes. Bag and shoes. Perfumes. Kyra put all the girls on to Ebony Woods. Ebony Woods is a classic layering perfume. Right now I'm wearing Ebony Woods and my Giorgio Armani C perfume, and that just smells immaculate. So yeah, I love that. I also have been really liking, and I'm not just saying this because they sent me this, but the Dossier perfumes, like, hello, I get so many compliments on those scents. So be sure to check out Dossier to, try out different luxury perfume dupes. I highly recommend them. So I love that. I'm obsessed with Tom Ford. Obsessed with Tom Ford. I've been wearing Tom Ford Ombre Woods. I love that paired with the Dossier Ambery Cherry. That combination together is like, whoa. Every time I pair those two together, I get so many compliments like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. So those are my perfume favorites right now. So yeah, if you're starting your perfume journey, I would highly recommend Dossier just to kind of figure out what you like, what scents you like, before you splurge on like a luxury perfume. And who knows, you may like it well enough to where it's like, instead of splurging on a, $300, $400 perfume, you can settle with Dossier for about $20. So yeah. And Baddie on a budget. Baddie on a budget. So Dossier, that would be Baddie on a budget. You get a nice quality scent. The scent is gonna carry you a long way, a long way. You could be wearing a basic, chill, running errands outfit, but if you smell good, instantly a baddie. Instantly a baddie. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you walk into a room and you smell good, scent is very, very important. I feel like I can make a whole video. I think I actually may make a whole video on Baddie on a budget tips, because it's very important to kind of know how you can still be a baddie on a budget. A lot of the times on social media, it's meant to be like you gotta spend so much money to be a baddie, and you really don't. It may seem like that, but you really don't. Invest in things like a nice watch. Shout out JBW. Use my link, use my code in the description. So shout out JBW, because you can get a nice luxury watch for a nice affordable price. Invest in things like a nice watch, a nice quality bag, and a nice quality pair of shoes, and then everything else will come. Shop at places like Zara, or you can find, like, I'm trying to think of places I shop. It's really just Zara. You could do your Fashion Nova, Pretty Little Thing, but you want to make sure that you have some like quality staples in there. Start doing your own nails. Shoot, I'm starting to think I want to order a kit. I had one during quarantine COVID where I was doing my own nails for a minute because the nail salons were closed, and I was looking like at my stuff. I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to start doing my own nails. So that's something that a nice hobby I plan on picking up, and that'll help, save lots of money doing your own nails, especially, with the little shorties, stuff like this. I could do this myself. Shoot, I get lash extensions, but before doing lash extensions, or like in between, getting lash extensions, I was using Flutter Habit. Definitely check them out. It's pretty much these lashes. They come in set like threes, and you use a glue and you put it underneath your eye and like press it together, and they last for like a week, a couple days to a week. You can sleep with them, shower with them, and they last like for up to a week. So check that out, Flutter Habit. shout out. This is not sponsored, but definitely check them out. I really like them. And hey, being a baddie is beyond material things. You know, you got to be an inner baddie. You can develop that inner confidence within yourself, and that's for free. So it all starts from within. So keep that in mind as well. So now I'm out of my Laura Mercier. So when I'm out of it, I keep a stash of this on deck. Shout out to, for those of you who know, you know, the label has wiped off, but you know what this is by looking at it. I don't even have to say what it is. But yeah, I always keep a stash with this on me for whenever I run out of my Laura Mercier. I always go back to this, tried and true. So a little goes a long way. So I'm just going to set where I put the concealer. I'm gonna just set it. I need to be looking in the mirror. I don't know what I'm doing. So the last topic I'm gonna end this video off with, all right, the last, we're gonna end this off like this, okay? And ladies, I want your input too. So comment down below, let's start a conversation about this. So this guy sent me a topic asking, and thank you so much for sending this, because you know it's a good conversation and he genuinely wants to know. So I'm gonna share my opinion and what I think, and you know, let's start a conversation about it in the comments down below. So it's, why do some ladies always want men to spend on them? So I'm gonna answer this from me, but you know, it's probably different with everyone you ask. So why do all ladies want men to spend on them? First off, okay, he said some. For some reason when I read it, I thought he said all. I was about to turn up. He said some. So yeah, some ladies, you know, but me personally, when I date a guy, I don't expect anyone to pay for anything, because first off, I could pay for my own. I've always been like that. I don't go out on dates unless I could pay for it 2 times. Me and for him. That's just how I was raised. That's how I've always been. So I don't necessarily expect for a guy to pay. They just most times do. I've been in situations though where, let me do a little story time. So one time I was talking to this guy and we went out on a couple of dates and he never really was like wanting to pay. So today's actually the next day. I had to stop filming because my skin was peeling so bad and it just was looking crazy. So I just had to stop, cut it. So it's early the next morning. I finished what I had done when I was talking to you guys. So we're just gonna pick up, okay? We're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. But I don't know what was going on with my skin. It has been super hot here and I haven't been the best with wearing sunscreen like on my face, which I really need to. I mean, if I go out and lay out on the sun, I put sunscreen on, but I guess I need to start putting it on every single day because my skin was peeling, y'all. Like this side of my face was just peeling and it was looking crazy. Like I was re-looking at the footage and like you couldn't really tell on camera, but in person, I had to wash that mess off. It looked ridiculous. So the topic was, why do some women expect for guys to pay? So I was sharing this story because it kind of relates to that topic. So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Anyways, so I was talking to this guy, y'all, and everything was cool. Our first date was to this vintage flea market. Y'all know me, I love vintage. That's my vibe. I love style. I love thrift, vintage. I love it. So I thought that was so cute. So we went there. And then we like went out to grab some food because I was saying I was hungry. I'm always hungry, y'all. If y'all are gonna take me out, food is gonna have to be included in that. I don't understand. Like, food is gonna have to be included some way. So he ended up taking me to something chill. It's like Torchy's Tacos. And I have a thing where this was our first date. So like I was saying, if I go out, I'm not gonna go out like without the money to pay. Like I could pay for myself. So I always offer like, oh, I can pay for my own. Like I always offer, right? So normally the types of guys that I'm used to dating, they'll be like, oh, put that away. Like they get offended. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not about to pay, especially on the first date. So I'm not saying this is a test that I do. Maybe subconsciously it is, but it's just kind of like a habit. Like I'll always be like, oh, like I got it. Just to kind of see like what the guy says. So I did that, right? And he was like, okay, like you could pay for yours and I'll pay for mine. And I was just like, okay, this was our first date, y'all. Okay, I'm very understanding and I'm very just like, you know, but in the back of my head, I noted it and I'm like, okay, well, this is our first date and that's kind of weird, but okay. So then he asked me on another date. He knew that I liked wine. He knew that I liked, you know, painting and, you know, artistic stuff like that. So he was like, I planned for us to do, he knew I love Thai food too. So he was like, I planned for us to go do paint and sip and go to get Thai food. I was like, oh wow, that's sweet that he remembers these things. Like I look at that, like the thoughtful guys. I'm like, wow, he remembered, right? So he lived far away. Like he lived more like in North Texas. I'm down, not North Texas, but like North Houston. I'm down like in Houston, like, you know, near the Midtown, Galleria. Like I'm in Houston. So it's like where he lived versus where I live was honestly probably like an hour, like with traffic and stuff. He wanted me to go to him. He wanted me to drive to him. He was finding the locations that were like, he was trying to do like halfway, but like they were all like kind of closer to him. So I'm like, okay. So I'm driving all the way over to like North Houston and like to meet him so we can go to the paint and sip place. Oh, before that, I don't know how I forgot. The reason I brought this story up is when he did this, what he would do is he would call me, like FaceTime me and be like, okay, let's FaceTime so we can buy the tickets. And I was like, let's FaceTime so we can buy the tickets? Okay. So literally while we were on FaceTime, he would be buying his ticket and I would be buying mine. So I'm like, all right, so I just bought this ticket, okay? So this is like the second time you're having me like pay for my stuff. And this is the beginning stages of us dating. I could, like I said in the last clip, when I, like my last relationship, I do not have a problem paying. Like I really don't. Like once you've been, you know, with a person, like I love, you know, being able to like, okay, I got it, like, you know, offering. 9 times out of 10, the guy's like, nah, keep that. Like, but you know, like I like being able to pay, you know, and I like being able to, you know, show that I'm interested too. And like, I feel like once you're used to and like you're with the guy, like that's okay. Like that's normal. You should wanna, you know, pay too. So even if the guy denies it, like you should wanna like, you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm just not used to that in the beginning stages of dating. Like if you're pursuing me romantically and you're, you know, planning these dates and wanting to take me out, like I'm confused. Like, are you trying to be friends? Are you trying to be homies? I'm confused. I'm confused. So anyways, I was just like, okay, noted. Like I'm not like getting mad, but I'm just noting these things and I'm like, all right, let me fill this out a little more. So anyways, and like my friends that I was sharing this to, they were like, huh? Like what? But like, you know, let me just see let me see what this is. So anyways, then the second thing that threw me, so he had me buy the ticket and then he has me drive all the way to where he is to go to the one that's closer to him. I'm like, yo, that's me driving an hour to go to you. Like, what? Like, huh? I mean, we could have found one that was like halfway, but like the picture that I wanted to paint was like the one closer to him. So I'm just like, ugh, whatever. So I go over there and he has me bring the wine glasses and he has the wine. So I'm like, all right. So we go to the wine and like everything's good, paint and sip, cool. So I remember like whenever we went back to his spot, he tried to kiss me. And I was just thinking in my head, like, now I'm confused. Because at first I was thinking, okay, he's having me pay. Maybe he's just trying to be friends. Like, maybe he's just trying to be cool. But then you try to kiss me. I'm like, oh, so he is trying to pursue me romantically. Yo, I was just confused, to be honest. I was literally confused. Confused. So that passed. So then he hits me again. And he knew that I wanted to go to this museum because he was from Houston. So he knew all the like cool little things to do. And he like knew that I would want to go to this museum because I like stuff like that. So he's like, I plan for us to go. Oh, before that, he was like, I planned for us to go to Topgolf. He wanted us to go to Topgolf. And I'm like, all right. And normally I've been to Topgolf with, you know, on a date before, and like the guy will buy the ticket and everything, and like, you know, everything's already set. You're just kind of walking into the date. Like, you're not having to like stand at the sand and like pay and, oh, is there a spot? Like, I'm used to things being taken care of, okay? Like, that's just the type of energy that I like and that I'm used to. So this was just very different to me, but I didn't want to shut him down just because of it being different. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to fill everything else out, because besides that, we had a good conversation and he was a nice guy. I wasn't going to just like shut him off because of that. Like, I was still willing to give him a chance. So, anyways, oh, the concealer I'm using is NARS. And this is the shade, the bronzer I'm using, sorry. Anyways, y'all. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna go get dinner. Or we're gonna go to Topgolf and then we're gonna go get dinner. Or we're gonna go get dinner and then Topgolf. I was running late, okay? I was running like a little bit late just because nothing was really fully planned. Like, he didn't say like, oh, be ready at this time, come to me at this time. That's another thing. He was having me go to him again. He was having me go to him again, y'all, like an hour away. Like, so nothing was fully planned. Like, it wasn't like, oh, be ready at this time. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, we can do this. So I was taking my time getting ready and I left when I left. Like, you know what I mean? So I was, I guess, a little late, but there was no set time. So the places that he was wanting to take me to eat around him were closed. It was like this Mexican restaurant. It was closed. So I was already annoyed because I'm like, yo, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry. So then he's like, well, we could just eat at Topgolf. And I'm like, so did you get tickets or do we have a reservation? So we get there. It's too packed. He didn't make reservations or buy tickets. It's too packed. He probably would have had me, you know, put in half. That's probably why he waited until we got there. I don't know. But it was close. Like, we couldn't do Topgolf anyway. All the restaurants over there, because he lived like in like a far away area, all the restaurants over there closed at like 9 or 10. So everything was closed. So he took me to Raising Cane's. He did pay for my Raising Cane's, so that was nice. And then we went to a drive-through like margarita spot, and he paid for my margarita. And I was like, all right, that's nice, I guess. Or the daiquiri. I was like, all right, that's cool. So anyways, y'all, after that, I ate the Raising Cane's. We had our little daiquiris. And I was just sitting there thinking like, all right, like this is weird. Like I'm confused. So then next, this was the final straw. This was the final straw. So then he hits me again, and that's when he wanted to take me to this museum. So he FaceTimes me, and he's like, or no, he texts me. He's like, all right, I'm gonna buy your ticket, or I'm gonna FaceTime you so we can buy our tickets to the museum. And that's when I was just like, all right, this is not what I'm used to. I'm really confused here. And I forgot what I texted him. I wish I would have saved the text, but I'm very respectful with everybody, you know, including men that I talk to. It doesn't matter if we're disagreeing or anything like that. I'm very assertive, but I'm very respectful. I'm not coming at you sideways. I'm not trying to be smart or with that. Sometimes I may have an attitude. But for the most part, I'm very respectful whenever I'm talking to a guy. So I know what I said wasn't anything crazy. I was just like, something along the lines of, I will buy the ticket. It's cool. But I'm a little confused with what this is. Like, you've been having me pay for these dates. You say that you're planning this, but yet you're having me pay my tickets like for the past 3 dates. I'm used to, when a guy is pursuing me romantically, I'm used to them, you know, paying for these dates, especially in the beginning stages. So I'm just a little confused. I forgot. I wish I would have saved the message, but it was just, you know, up front. I'm confused. What's good? And yeah, that's all. He came back, y'all. That's when I was like, he came back with this defensive text like, I need for you to pursue me. Something like that. And I was like, huh? Like, he was like, I need you to pursue me. You don't text back fast enough. I was like, I know I'm not the best texter, but I was making an effort to text him back, like, you know, like be on top of it, because he was giving me that energy too. But it's like, I'm at work. I cannot be on my phone like all the time. So yeah, it may be an hour or two before I respond, but I was constantly responding to him. I would text him first. I would FaceTime him. Like, so I was really confused by that. And then he was like, before I start spending money, I need to see that you're pursuing me, because I've been hurt before and all this stuff. And it was just very defensive, and it was very like unhealed trauma. I don't know, but I was so turned off. And we kind of went back and forth. Like, he kept coming to me and I was going back and like, blah, 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 and I forgot like what we were saying, but it was just kind of like just like arguing over that. And it got to a point where I was just like, you know, it was really good getting to know you. I am sorry if I offended you in any way with me saying that. I'm just letting you know like what I'm used to. And I understand that, you know, you've been hurt before and taken advantage of. That's not what I'm trying to do. I hope you heal from that. But I think it would be best off if we just, you know, could here. So that was that. So I say that story, it's kind of blurry because like I said, this happened probably like a year ago. And there's been so many stories and stuff since then. But not gonna lie, that sometimes is on my mind a lot, like that situation, because I'm just like, man, he was a nice guy, but like there was just some sort of disconnect there with what I'm used to, how I want to be treated, and versus what he's been through and what he wants. You know, I want to be pursued, he wants to be pursued. So like there's some disconnect there. Anyways, I say that story just to say, speaking for me, I could only answer this from my perspective, but I never expect for guys to pay. It's just, I feel like guys, men need to, I saw this post, and I feel like this goes with, you know, both guys and girls, is date within your, like, within your means. Don't go out on dates if you can't pay for them. Like, just don't. Like, don't go dating if you can't pay for the date at the end of the day. You know, women, we naturally want to be led and we naturally want to be pursued. It's innate, it's nature, it's life. Like, it's, you know, like, I feel like that's just like innate in the feminine energy, is wanting to be led and wanting to be pursued. And like, that paying for dates kind of goes against that femininity. And I think that's why I felt so like uncomfortable and uneasy, and why I had to kind of draw the line at that third date of just like, wait a second, you know, because in my head, I'm like, all right, we're just being cool, we're being friends. But then you try to kiss me and you have me paying for these dates. That's when it's like, I'm confused. And I also feel like it has a lot to do with what you're used to. You know, if I'm used to going out on dates and the guys, you know, planning everything and making sure, you know, reservations are set and, you know, I'm taken care of, that seems more natural to me. Just know who you're dating and know how to move accordingly. That goes for both guys and women. Men and women, okay? Women, don't go out here expecting for, you know, with no money, expecting for guys to take you to Steak 48 and pay for all this, and you don't even have money to buy a drink or an appetizer. Don't do that. You know, don't do that, because, you know, treat people how you would want to be treated. Women, go out in your femininity, you know, act with love, act with kindness, and know your worth, know where you stand. There are some women I know personally that don't care paying on dates, that don't care if a man doesn't make reservations. Like, I know a girl who said that she's never gone anywhere where there's reservations. Used to going half, and that's fine. If that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to. But if you're used to different, it's okay being used to different. Just date those who are like that. You know what I mean? Like, know your worth, know your value, know where you stand, and move accordingly. This is like my favorite lip combination ever. The lip liner I used was Rich Brown by Huda Beauty, and I just took this brush and kind of blended out. This thing lasts on my lips all day. And then I'm going in with my Too Faced lip injection. Y'all, I literally got this last month. Why am I already out of it? Why am I flying through makeup so quick? Is there a leak? Like, I'm confused. I literally just got this last month. But it's in the shade Pink Punch, and I love the way this looks with the brown for some reason. A little goes a long way. Voila. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. I went ahead, laid down my edges a little bit more, threw on my nice little top. Thank you so much for those of you who sent in topics on my Instagram. That really helped out a lot. If you guys want to see more chit chat, get ready with me, be sure to let me know. Stay tuned for the next weekly vlog. It's gonna be like a 2-week vlog, so yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys very soon in the next video. Bye guys.